or Hitman if you prefer. Welcome you to the first, in probably a while, stream of GTA San Andreas. The only thing is we're going to basically start this as if it never even happened. Because if it somehow shows up in my channel history of the original streams, those are a thing of the past. This one's the current one. So, yeah, and hopefully, like I said, like I wrote, special guests, or plus guests, but there's no guarantee I can get them in, because they're going to be busy, I think, so. Hey, Ness Addict. Look at me, I know, hey. Ness Addict, if you have a PS4 and you want to add me on PSN, you can do that, and then you and I can actually party chat if you want, if you're available. I'm actually streaming later than I usually would. Hey, Henry, I'm glad you can make it. I knew you said you would, too, so thank you for at least popping in. If you end up having to leave, no big deal. The fact you even showed up is what's important. Oh, well, that's alright. Don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up. Beat yourself up if you don't. Henry did a pretty cool stream. What was it, Henry? You were streaming, what was it last night? It was Mortal Kombat 10, I think it was? And I remember I told you, what was it, in the chat, I told you the combo to do, I think it was Sub-Zero's, like, classic fatality and how to get a certain trophy if you haven't gotten it. So, oh, that's right, I completely forgot. This is the same save file. Oh, hey, J-Love, I wasn't sure if you were going to be able to make it.
Hey, buddy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just hope everybody else can hear. I didn't know if you would be able to make it because you didn't respond to my tweet, so I'm like, she must be busy. I'm not going to try and pester her too much about it.
Ah, I just got your tweet. I'm going to answer you, too.
Well, hey, you can do what you can. I just got to figure out one setting here, if I can remember how to do it. Because I remember this one's got a different setting than, you know, than the actual, like, settings that the other, you know, the other games had. So I got to remember that to do the audio, it's totally different than what 3 and San Andreas have, so. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like, I could have swore I remember Henry streaming that, and then I told him a certain thing, and he's like, and then like, hey, I'm thinking of streaming, you think you could join? Alright, which one's, this is the current one. I'm going to have to clear that one up, because that's the one from last month that I haven't streamed since I started the Vice City series, so. So
San Andreas is awesome. I haven't played this in forever.
I kid you not, this is actually my first GTA I actually played. Like, the first GTA I ever physically played was this, and then I played Chinatown Wars, and then I followed it up with 4, and then 5, and now I'm back to the net control. Yeah, actually, Nesatic, the best part is my parents actually said today, because they've just been having their usual, you know, adult-related arguments that married couples have. They're both going to do their own thing when they get out of work, so I'm probably going to have the entire house to myself way beyond the usual times that I would, so.
That's awesome. Hey, Jay, what's up, buddy? What's up, Henry?
Henry
nice
actually,
seeing you guys.
Actually, the only reason Henry's here is because he actually said to me in his stream last night, he said, yeah, I'll check you out. You're helping me, I'll help you out. I was like, hey,
that's
you know,
awesome.
I told him, I even wrote in the message, I was like, hey, even if you just pop in for like 2 seconds, so that I know you at least saw it, I'm not going to make you stay or anything. I'm not that kind of a person, you know. So. Also, I'm kind of wide awake now because I got my sleep. Also,
nice.
Also, no offense, but we cannot talk when we get to the point that I want. Because I want to hear the quote, and then I'm going to see if I can recite it as it's being said. So don't say anything when it gets there. Yeah, that was actually a good TMNT stream. I think he's played the same one Megadan played, if I remember. I already know the entire storyline, so I'm not going to spoil it, and I'm not even going to spoil it, especially if somebody hasn't played it. But I'm just saying it's kind of predictable based on the context of how the characters act. You can kind of get, you know, put 2 and 2 together and figure it out. And I'm going the wrong way. Also, there's the van I can use for stealing stuff at night in game. And if Henry does that, and I'm still streaming, I'll end my stream to help him out. I don't mind. Also, J-Love, remember the thing I talked to you about before Henry was able to be in the stream about the thing that I wanted you and Megading to help me with?
Uh-huh.
I talked to him during one of his streams about, you know, would he be, interested in wanting that? And he's like, if you know it's going to help, then yeah, I wouldn't mind it. And I said, okay, well, I'll communicate with them at my next stream, and we'll figure out what we're going to do from there. So I think he's willing to accept it. Because I told him it'll be good, especially because he can get like OBS software and stuff on there. And he can make his streams a lot smoother and everything too with it. So it'd be a win-win for him.
Sweet.
Yep. And like I said, it's a good laptop. It's worth like $500. And I only paid like $450 for it a while back. So.
Nice. He played TMNT too.
Yeah.
I like that game.
Those are classics. So. Oh, excuse me.
Yes, Henry. Stream
Right.
TMNT 3.
Wait for it.
Which one's your favorite?
A number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 44, 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large. And they look at him like, really, bitch? Really? And they're like, alright, let's get this shit and get out of here. And then they gotta go after the ballers.
I actually beat TMNT 2 and 3 Manhattan Project, but also Turtles in Time is my favorite too, Henry.
Which one's
That's the best Turtles game.
Is Turtles in
The
Time
Turtles
the
in
second
Time
one?
is the Turtles in Time is for the Super Nintendo. Turtles
Oh, okay,
4.
I know which one that is. That's that, like, really, that's like one of the more rare ones for Super Nintendo, isn't it? When it comes to Ninja Turtles, it's like that super rare Ninja Turtle game. Because I know there's like
It's a pricey game, but it's extremely popular because it's the best turtle game that they have. But
yeah,
Turtles 1 is tough. I never beat that without Game Genie. If any of you guys beat Turtles 1, let me know, and I would love to see it played online.
I think Megadan was playing that one at one point with his nephew a while back, and they actually came close to finishing it, but they both died, and then they had stuff going on.
Uncle Strange, what's up, buddy?
Oh, hey, Uncle Strange. No offense, I didn't expect you to pop in, my friend. Good to see ya. And there we go. That takes care of that baller and that baller.
Uncle Strange, have you beat God of War yet? Because I only put in 6 hours.
He actually hasn't, I don't think. I've watched... He actually caught... Remember that glitch that was going around when the game was coming out and stuff? That big glitch where you have to do something for your son, and then there's that glitch where you don't get the command? Right?
I'm not sure if I got that far yet, to be honest with you.
Well, there's a glitch in the game that appears at some point when you get to that, so... And also, you notice why...
Turtles 1 is fun. I agree, Henry.
You know, it's another good fun game that I know has an Xbox Live version of it. It's the Simpsons arcade game. That game is freaking hilarious. I played that at an old arcade.
Oh, yes!
I've actually
DOA, that's my favorite arcade game.
I kid you not, I've actually played the actual arcade version of it. Like the actual cabinet version. You know why? Down in New Hampshire, on a place called Ware's Beach, there's this giant arcade place called Fun Spot. And they have pretty much everything from pinball machines to arcade classics like the old Ninja Turtles and the old Simpsons ones. And then they have everything else too. You even get like this really cool slot machine type thing where you can win tokens, and those tokens count as actual tickets to use, so it's pretty lit. And it's like the biggest arcade in the entire US too, from my knowledge.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dude, I miss the arcades. You notice that they don't have arcades like they used to? That they used to
I
have
know.
them in the malls. They used to have them everywhere. They took
I
them all
know.
out. And you have to go to like Dave & Buster's and places like that to play arcade games, which sucks.
Well, what's funny is though is
Yes,
that a lot
Henry.
of the classic arcade games are actually near my house. Like a lot of the places that have the old arcade room type things are still being made in my area. Especially a lot of the Walmarts down in my state have them. They have like a mini arcade.
Where are you at?
Me? I'm in Connecticut, so I'm like, if you go where, I think it's not Dan, it's Smash. I think is the one that lives in somebody that we know lives in Florida, and I'm just upwards from him basically. If you go upwards, I'm like 1 state or 2 states out from like Mass and Rhode Island and everything. I'm like right in like the biggest part of New England where I can travel to pretty much every New England-based state around me.
Yeah, Smash is in California, but Connecticut's about 3-4 hours from me.
And
I'm
it's
in
actually,
PA.
yeah, and how far are you from Ohio? Because I know it's like a 10-hour ride from me to Ohio.
Yeah, I want to say about 5-6 hours I'm from Ohio, because I'm all the way on the east.
Yeah.
Up Pennsylvania by Philly.
Yeah, because we actually, when we go to Ohio to go meet my nephew out where he lives, we have to go straight through the entire state of Pennsylvania in order to hit Ohio. And then it's like another like 2 or 3 hours out of into Ohio before we actually hit the exits to get to his house. Because you have to go to like all these random spots. It's ridiculous.
That's awesome. I'm actually going to drive all the way down south to meet NES addict so I could slap him.
Oh,
right,
you
Jay?
do that. Hey, you do that. Send me a video clip of you doing it on Twitter, and I will post
I
it.
might have to do that. Uncle Strange, you are further than I am on God of War. I am not. I only put like 6 hours, like I said, and I haven't had time to stream, but I'm going to try definitely Wednesday, but try tomorrow as well. But
Yeah.
why do you feel old? Don't look. You make me feel old.
Actually, I'm the one that feels the oldest, even though I'm probably the youngest one in the entire chat. Like, in this entire thing, I'm 21, and yet I'm 21, and I feel
Henry,
like
how old are you, buddy?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, that's right. Henry's like 17, 18. I'm older than him by like 3 years. But the reason I feel old is because my first niece, who was 19, was born when I was 2.5 years old. I was a baby. And then there's another baby in the way, you know? Like, it's like, I'm a baby, and then I have a baby niece that pops up at the same time. It's like, oh my goodness.
I know, and then the more younger the generation, the older you're
Gonna feel, exactly. Like, I have a nephew, I have like a bunch of nieces and nephews that are all within the same age group of each other because they're all like a few years apart or so, or more. So that's why I feel that way. It's like...
Uncle Strange, you and I are only 5 years apart, buddy.
Oh, really?
You're not that far.
Right.
I got you. I feel you. It's okay. Uncle. Yes,
Please.
Uncle Strange. He calls me Aunt Slappy.
Yeah, that is true.
I am. I definitely
Well, that's
am.
because you get Slappy when you're happy. You're just like the puppet Slappy from Goosebumps, where when he's happy, he's Slappy City. The irony, huh?
That is funny.
It's the irony. You know what's crazy, though? Is my favorite childhood movie... Remember? No, you know what's funny? Is remember your stream you had, J-Love, like, last week or the week before? And I mentioned about Spaceballs? Right?
Yeah.
I kid you not. It's somewhere on my floor in front of me. I actually have the DVD of Spaceballs somewhere in my room. In a disaster of a room, no less, but it's in my room. Isn't that funny? I actually own a childhood movie. Because I remember the guy that was in there that wore the glass...
Spaceballs is awesome.
Because I remember what was it? The actor that played like the Darth Vader parody in there that wore the glasses was the guy that was also not only in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Honey, I Shrunk Myself or something like that, but he was also in a movie called The Blob, I think it was. And then he was also in Ghostbusters, if I recall, like the original like 80s one. Or am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, you're
but
talking
I could
about Rick Moranis with the glasses?
Yeah, the guy that ended up playing like that parody Darth Vader in Spaceballs, and he had to take the mask off. He's like, I can't breathe in that thing.
Dude, he was hilarious in that.
Like,
yes, he was in Ghostbusters. He also was in Little Shop of Horror.
Yeah.
Rick Moranis was the man back in the 80s. He really
And,
was.
and yet I'm from the 90s, and yet I remember a lot of the 80s stuff better than I do the 90s, which is sad. Like, I remember
that's because you have good taste.
Well, not only that, but do you remember the original version of It that came out during the 80s? Like, that was on TV. It was that 80s miniseries. It was like a 3-part miniseries about
hell
the
out
book.
of me.
That one actually was like watching the modern version of Goosebumps with Jack Black in it for me as a kid. Like, I watched that, and that didn't scare me. The moment I watched, what was it? When I watched, what was it called there? The Friday the 13th series until I got into it. That used to scare the piss out of me. That and Child's Play. Now it's like it's nothing. It's like watching, it's like Evil Within is like nothing to me now.
I actually tried, like, when I was younger, for some reason, I watched more horror movies than as an adult.
Yeah, I'm the exact opposite. I used to watch more horror
I don't like
movies
it now.
than I did then.
You know what movie scared me so bad that I actually had to sleep with my parents?
What?
I was such a chicken. Pet Cemetery. That movie messed me up in the
well,
head.
I can understand, because that is a scary movie. And isn't that based off of the book by Stephen King? Or am I wrong on that?
Yes,
okay,
it was.
because that would make sense on why that would be scary. Because, I mean, come on, it's Stephen frickin' King. You know?
Yeah,
but what's
he's
sad
crazy.
is, you know what's sad is everybody said that the movie that was made with, what was it, Tim Curry or whatever, the original version of it, that was a miniseries version, everybody says that version is better than the remake that came out last year. And I'm like, no argument there. I mean, the only bad thing about the original was that the original had it where it turned, what was the name of it? What was its real name? Pennywise. It turned him into a goof. But it was a good concept of having him as a goof, because at least it brought less of a fear, you know, especially if you're going to have a little kid trying to watch it with you. You don't want to spook the shit out of the poor kid, you know.
Wouldn't that have made a good video?
What do you mean, like a good what?
Video game.
Yeah, I think it could have. Another game, another movie series that would make a good video game is Child's Play. I mean, come fucking on, seriously. I especially love it because, you know what's funny? It's my favorite movie out of all the Child's Plays that I've seen, because I've seen every single one ever made right now, right? My favorite one of all time has got to be Child's Play 2. I mean, yeah, I think it's Bride of Chucky, because there's that whole sex scene thing, and and she's like, Tiffany tells, Chucky, she's like, did you bring the rubber? And he's like, Tiff, it's all rubber, or something like that, you know, because they're talking about the body parts and stuff. But the one I loved was Child's Play 2, because I remember the entire end segment. I remember every single major point. I remember a lot of the major quotes. I even remember the chant of Damballa. If you wanted me to quote it, I could do it word for word. Specifically the old version, not the...
He was in the army.
The army was the third one.
I like that one.
That's a good one, yeah. Because remember they give it to what? They give all the guns that were supposed to be paintball guns to kids, and it's like actual, you know, actual weapon ammo. Like that's cool. But I loved Child's Play 2 because you get into the factory that the movie's based off of, that the first one was based around, and they go in, and I remember because Charles Lee Ray, aka Chucky, gets his hand caught in the machine that cuts his arm off, and he has to tie the knife in there to replace it. You know, because he's also part human and stuff still. He's like, you little shit! And then he chases after him. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then and then I remember, what was her name? The one that was like the foster sister there to Andy. I forget her name. But I remember
forgot her name too.
But she's like, she gives Chucky the middle finger and then shoves you know those she gives him shoves the tube, you know those old tubes they would use to inflate the dolls to give them how they would look, like you would see nowadays, you know, like the actual pipe that would go into the tubing to program it or whatever, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, she takes that and shoves it into his mouth, and then she's like, gives him the middle finger type thing, you know, and then all you see is 2 seconds later you see her covering Andy, and you just get boom. He just splatters everywhere, and then the scene's over. But I remember it because I remember that. Awesome. But my favorite segment is when they're in the store that has the entire or inside the factory they have that entire section of all the box Chuckies you see, and he whacks Andy and knocks him out, and he's like, go to sleep and count to 7. When you awake, you'll be in heaven. And then he starts the little cackle thing while Andy's out cold after whacking him, you know, over the head with the knife or whatever it was on the back of the head. And then you get the whole chant bullshit, and you get the lightning effect halfway through, and then Kyle's chasing after him and finds him, and then that whole segment of them being chased after by Chucky happens, and then he's dead. I just love that. That was super awesome. But like I said, if you ask me,
Halloween is a good series, Henry.
Oh yeah, that is classic. Halloween, isn't that what is
Michael
that
Myers?
That's what I thought. I was like, that's the Michael Myers. Fun fact, did you know that the mask they used to represent Michael Myers is a purely white painted version of the mask that was used to represent one of the characters from Star Trek?
Really?
One of the guys from Star Trek, they took the mask that was popularized at the time, masked it up, took the mask, cut it up and stuff so it had the design, and then spray painted it with that grayish white metallic spray paint to give it that aesthetic. It's so cool. I was like, damn! Not to mention, Michael Myers is in Mortal Kombat 10, which is lit. All the best fighters are in Mortal Kombat 10 these days. Except for one, and that's
Henry. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, aside from Chucky, all the famous, or infamous, villain characters are in it. And also, Smash happens to be streaming, apparently, at the same time as me. What are the odds of that?
Yeah, I'll jump in on his stream in a little.
Yeah.
Your TMNT2 arcade version for the GameCube, you have to try to stream that. I'd like to see that. I do not believe I have that.
That's where the benefits of having that laptop would come in handy, because you could program it to run it, you know, on a good display.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's why I want to send it to him. That's why I said I'm more than willing to find a way to get the hard drive replacement, which I can guarantee my neighbor would probably be able to help me out with, and then go from there. You know, it's not that hard.
And I agree with Henry. It is fun chatting with everybody. It doesn't matter how old we are or what games we grew up.
No, because we all have similar interests too at that, so it makes it easier.
Absolutely.
You know what? I'm gonna be nice, because I'm a mod on his channel. I'm gonna watch his stream, and I'm gonna explain to him apologies in advance if I'm taking your views, because I'm gonna be streaming simultaneously, you know, so it's gonna be confusing. So I'm gonna go let him know now, because he's probably still alive. So hang on one sec. Give me 1 second. I wonder if he'll read it. He usually reads my comments just about every time. Also, let's see. We go legs, because that's the pants, and we need... Let's go green jeans.
With their feet moving faster than their body.
Oh, and I gotta also make sure my Nightbot is there. Give me 1 sec. I gotta make sure my Nightbot's active. No, it's alright, Ness. You're good, man.
Did you give JT Smash my love?
I will let him
Smash
know.
JT?
I will.
Messed that up real bad.
I know what you meant. I'll let him know for you right now, because like I said, I'm a mod, so he'll notice.
What?
I'm drinking coffee at this time.
I'm drinking
It's
a
my
soda.
morning. Okay, I see the chat, buddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Earthbound's a classic with Ness. Like, that's a classic. I wish I could play that, but I don't have the system to play it. I mean, I do, but the problem is you have to have it up to date consistently, meaning you have to have a computer with an SD card slot and everything, and that's that Retron 5. Like, that I need. And also, I love how all I buy is a different pair of pants, and that completes the objective. The irony, J-Love, you're in mine, right? You're still here?
Yes, I am.
Like, you could be heard here, but you can watch there. Hey, how about this? If you want, because I've got this pretty much, this channel seems to be under control, because I got a lot of good, mods aside from me. If you want to just stay here and just be chatting in my stream, and want to watch Smashes in the background or something, while you're talking with me, by all means do that. As long as you can help support him like you're doing with me, I'm not going to get mad if I hear his stream in the background,
No. I have it on low.
I'm saying, like, if you want to put it
on the PS4
yeah.
right now, so I could see the chat.
Well, that's the thing. I'd like to be able to hear a little bit of his stream. That's what I'm saying. If you want to turn it up a little bit and have it playing in the background, that's fine, because I want to be able to hear it too. Because I don't feel like putting it on my end. I'm just being too lazy to do that right now, if I'm being honest.
Oh, I got you.
So if you want to play it in the background, just do that. I don't mind. Because I'm sure he probably doesn't even realize I'm streaming simultaneously, so I want to make sure he knows I hear it. Because like I said, I don't care if you're watching both. As long as I know you're here to help me out, that's all that matters, Helping us both is what works. And I love how I've actually got 5 viewers right now at the same time. That's very rare for me, and I think that's because of everybody that knows you, J-Lo, has been helping me. So, speaking of which, I'm curious.
I never really got into Earthbound, Henry, but I definitely have no problem.
Yeah.
I should get into it. It just seems like a long game. How long is it about? I saw that episode on AVG and I saw it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Remember because
Okay, Uncle Strange.
Wasn't it? They didn't do it as an AVGN episode with Earthbound. I think what they did is they did it as like a regular James and Mike Monday episode too, aside from just that one. Remember? And they had it where, if I remember, they had it in where they had it where I remember they both were sniffing the whatchamacallit, like the scratch and sniff things from the actual Nintendo Power, and they're like, ugh, type thing. Remember that?
What part was it?
It was from the James and Mike Monday version of Earthbound on the Cinemassacre channel. Both James and Mike were taking the old Nintendo Power magazine for Earthbound, the one that featured Earthbound, and they were doing the scratch and sniff things, and they were just like getting grossed out because it was so hilarious.
That's funny. I freaking love it.
Yeah, I love AVG.
He had me in tears before, like some of the things.
Oh, I kid you not. What was the episode he did a while back? It was like one of his really, really, really old ones he did. I forget what it was. It was like it was not the one that I remember, the one I brought up last stream about the thing that everybody was talking about that he you know what I'm talking about, that he you know which one I'm talking about, right? The one that he used back in the day. Remember, not the one when he had the guy that's the guitar guy there with him, right? But the other one that they did following the Board Game series finishing up. Remember that one?
Yes, I do.
Like, I remember, what was it? He did, I think he did like a rip of Mario. Remember that one? How he talked about how Mario was like all the way the blocks were designed, how it was the devil and all that crap. Right? You remember that?
I missed that series.
That episode of his thing was hilarious, because that was one of the actual videos they did of AVG. Ah, jiznits! This mission's a fail.
Man, what I tell y'all?
Yep. Thanks, cops. I hate that in this mission when the cops do that, especially since it's crooked cops, you know. Oh, and of course, here comes Luther. He better behave himself because I've got mods in the chat that are ready to put him in timeout because he did troll me last time, a while ago. And this was before you and I were even collabing, J-Love. I kid you not. I think it was... You remember Ty-Lord, right? J-Love?
Yes, I do.
Ty-Lord was in the thing with me, and I think it was Nostalgia, and Luther started some stuff trying to be a troll, and they had to put him in timeout. And that was before I even knew what Nightbot was, like how to use Nightbot and everything at that.
Luther's gonna behave, right, Luther?
Oh, he will, especially if he knows Aunt Slappy is here. Yeah, because I've got...
yeah,
that's the worst thing.
Everybody knows I like it, but it's all good. It's because of love.
Yeah, well, I said...
If I really like you, you'll get slapped, put it that way.
So basically, it's the equivalent of, like, with me, where I will give somebody a hug because I like them as a friend so much. Basically like that. That's what your classification of slapping somebody is giving them a big hug. Basically, right?
Are you really, Jay? I didn't know that about you. You're lying. Are you serious? You're French-Canadian? 1/8?
You want to know a fun fact about me and why I rage and get angry so easily?
Go ahead. I'll tell you. If you tell me, I'll tell you.
Alright. The reason I'm so easily angry is because I'm actually one half German-Irish, and then the other half of me is French-Cherokee. So the whole German-Irish causes my angst very easily. Especially because, think about it, look at all the people that have existed in Germany over the years and what things they've gone and done, you know. And then look at how the Irish can be, especially if they get drunk. Oh, jeez, you don't want to fuck with that, you know.
I want to say mostly Puerto Rican, and my grandfather's side of the family has Italian.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like the worst temperament in the world.
But it's also one of the coolest combinations.
I do not speak a word of Spanish at all.
Actually, technically, if you at least know how to say hola and adios, then you know Spanish.
I do.
That's at least
I know the
Spanish.
bad words.
Let me ask this. I don't mean to cut you off. Correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't this word, I'm going to say it in Spanish, tell me if it means what I think it means or if it means something different, okay? Does pendejo actually mean asshole, or does it mean something completely different? Because I know in different cultures it means different things. I'll still never get over the episode of with Jeff Dunham when he has the whole bad day episode with Peanut and Jose, and he's like, "So did you have a good day? Yes, no, shut up. A good day? Yes, no, shut up. You're supposed to take him to the spa. I took him to the spa." He's like, he put me in the vegetable steamer. And he's like,
it's like stupid.
What?
Like a dumbass, stupid person.
The word I know that means stupid because I learned it in school is idiota. It means stupid or idiot. So.
Yeah.
And then I know.
Say that too.
And then I also know that, remember the phrase that I brought up in one of my previous 3 streams you were in, where I said, like the words the blacks used to call the whites, which was honky or cracker, right? There's a word that's commonly used by the Mexican version of Spanish people that when they hated the U.S., you know, when we were at Mexican-American War type thing, with that whole version of the Spanish-American War, they used to call us gringos, which is like their equivalent of a racial slur like we would use with the blacks, or the blacks would use with us. Which I thought was funny. And you still hear it too, like you hear it a lot, but now when people use it, they're using it as a joke. They don't use it to mean offensive stuff, you know, kind of like how like the slang N-word is used to represent like, you know, my homie, my brother, if you're in a black community type thing, and you're black, you know, versus being a racial type of term, you know.
You got me wanting to play this game, bud.
Ironically,
I missed this game.
Here's what's even funnier is this game's got a lot of the slang N-word used throughout, so that's why I love it. Just because you get to hear that and nobody can correct you for it. It's part of the game.
It's a great game. I love this game. I gotta play it.
Yeah. No, I'm no fucking racist. What are you, high off your rocker, Luther? Stupid idiota. I also know how to say, the female dog in Spanish, and I know how to say, but as in, like, but this or but that, you know, like the different, like I know the different meanings, like one as a question, one as a regular statement, and then one where it's just a total random thing. You have I'm going to say a bunch of phrases. I want to see if you know what they are, and they're all going to be in Spanish, so if you know them, J-Love, go ahead and say them, otherwise I'll have to tell you if you're right or not. Alright? Let's see, the first one I remember is, So it goes, because I remember this is like a song. That's how I learned it in school. I learned it as a song. Cuando, when, porque, why, que, what, donde, where, cuando, how much. It goes cuando, how much. No, it goes cuando, when, porque, why, que, what, donde, where. There's like cuando and cuanto, which means, you know, how much, and then there's like one that means who is there. It's a very confusing thing, but it's like a song. But I do remember how to say every single month in Spanish by heart.
Then that's more than I can. The only count to 100. Henry, that's awesome mix, buddy. That's great.
I could probably count up to I could probably count up to like 199 in Spanish if I'm lucky, because it's literally, I think it's the same as 100. Just you're adding, you know, the extra number to the end. So you'd say cien y blank, or you know, whatever. So you're basically saying the regular numbers with that. But I don't know how to say 200. That I'm lucky to get up to 100. You know. But
Dude, Henry has like 5% Jamaican. That's awesome.
That's actually one of the base things, especially because my favorite character in all of GTA history was portrayed as a Jamaican character. I don't know if it was the Jamaican stereotypical type of character or if it was an actual like Jamaican character, just, you know, kind of like how how everybody assumes that the Nico Bellic character of GTA 4 was like that stereotypical Russian, but it's actually portrayed by an actual Russian guy, but was told by an American to do it. I'm 3/4 alien, says Ness Addict.
We still love you, NES. We still love you.
Listen to this. I don't care if he's an alien. I don't care if he's a xenomorph. I don't care if he's fucking Freddy Krueger in disguise. He is cool in my book, and that's all that matters.
Bye, Uncle Strange.
See you later, Strange. Hopefully we'll see you again. Yeah, if he streams, I'll visit it. He's a cool dude, too. I remember, I kid you not, he was actually responding to my comments like every 2 seconds every time I posted a comment on his YouTube video about his the things he received.
Look at the graphics on this, though. It's funny. Imagine, back then we thought this was awesome looking.
I know. Nowadays it's like, meh, you know.
It's really hard for me to go back to, like, Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1 and 2 graphics.
Honestly, there's only, yeah. Here's the funny thing. If you ever want to see me stream and rage while using those little in-game cheat mechanics built into it of Final Fantasy VII for this system, let me know. I own that. I own that game. I could download it in a heartbeat and play it. Like, I got up to the storyline when you had... And then I screwed up because I forgot to save prior to it. But I got up to the point where you had, you know, that little machine you would use in Final Fantasy VII to travel across the actual overworld map? And then it would break down in the lion, known as Red 13's, like, home area or whatever, and you'd learn about his past and stuff. Like, I got up to that point, and then I forgot to save, and then I had to start from scratch. I was like, God damn it. I'm not doing that again. Fuck that shit. I'm out. You know? I basically... You know what this phrase means? Do you know what I'm sleep means?
No.
I'm sleep, spelled S-H-L-E-E-P, means I'm done. So when somebody says I'm sleep, it means I'm done. I'm not even going to try anymore, kind of thing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I learned that, I kid you not, I learned that from a YouTuber known as, I don't think you'll know who he is, Chris Danker or Dankops on YouTube. He does a lot of, like, pretty much everything. He does God of War, he's done, I think he's played GTA 5 a little bit, he's played some Madden, and you know who Xavier Woods is from wrestling, right? Known as Austin Creed or the channel Up Up Down Down. Right? You know who that is, right?
No, I don't.
Well, well, anyways, he's a wrestler, and what's insane is how him and Chris Dinker actually did a legit stream together once. Like, they did an actual video together a few times. They were at some awesome events. It's hilarious. But my favorite character, my favorite YouTuber of all time is this. When I say his name with the way he does it, you know, you're gonna know who it is. Dachi! Dachi! Can you figure out who it is? You gotta change one letter in that phrase, and you've got the name. Yeah, I know, right, Henry?
Wow, I'm a little bit slow.
What do you mean? Because I've got, let's see, what do I've got? I own all the GTA Classic games on disc in some version, like all 3 of the trilogy ones, in some way, shape, or form. I think the only one I own, like, 3 versions of is this one, because I have it on the PS2 version. That PS3 Greatest Hits one that was made back in December of 2015. And then I have this console version of the PS2 on PS4. And then I also have GTA 3 somewhere in my room on disc for PS2, and then I also have GTA Vice City on disc in a drawer in my room where I won't lose it. With all their, like, original stuff.
The game, or what do you find? What
do you
game do
mean?
you like, Luther? Let's find out.
I know, I actually was streaming that a little bit, Henry, and then I was like, I'm getting rage-induced with this. I'm sleep, so I quit it for now. Like, even Dan said...
Yeah, he was streaming Vice City for a while, Henry.
Yeah, and then Dan's like, you know what, if you're not in it, don't play it. There's no sense of playing something that you're not, you know, your heart's not in. Take a break and find a different game again. I'm like, alright, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stream 3 or San Andreas, and I've been doing this and 3 back and forth, iffy a little bit, back and forth. You know what my favorite YouTube series to watch is? That's funny. That's like, it's what they call an abridged series version of. Is Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series, because I just remember there was this episode where the characters from the game, or from the show, which were like Taya and Yami, were going to go on a date thing or something. Oh, believe it or not, Henry, I'm thinking tomorrow, if I really feel like doing it, and if J-Love's able to, she can join in, and maybe if you can get a PS4 or something, you can eventually join in. And I was thinking of streaming that tomorrow, to be honest. I might do that if you guys are down for that. Let's put it this way.
I can't jump
Well, you don't have to be there, but I'm saying if
because
you can at least watch it is what I'm saying. Like, if you can at least pop in and watch it. I'm not
it
saying you have
depends
to
on
be
the
in
time.
there. Well, I mean, what time would be good for you? Because you know we both are on the same time zone, so it doesn't really, you know.
Well, I get home at 3 o'clock in the morning, well, 3:30 in the morning, and then normally I just go right to bed, and then I have to get up to go to a meeting at 1 o'clock at work, and then go back in. I want to say maybe after, see, I probably won't be available till after 3. That's when I'll get back home
Well,
from
that's
my
why
meeting.
I was saying, like, if you can at least just watch it without it interfering with your job, you know, that'd be better than nothing.
Yeah, I will do my best.
Yeah, if you can, great. If not, I'm not going to, get mad or something over something as little as that, you know. But...
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, that sucks.
What's up, Henry?
Hey,
I
Henry,
don't understand how it's broken.
Hey, Henry, is it still under warranty? Because if it is, Sony will literally send you out a box with a label, and they will figure out the problem. And if they can't fix anything by doing whatever techniques they do, they will completely replace it with another model of the same model type that you had, if need be. The only thing you send is the console. You don't send any cables. And then they'll fix it, and if they can't, they'll either send you a refurbished replacement that matches it, or they'll send you like a brand new one of the same style. They said they'll figure it out based on the situation, if that's the case.
But why would the internet by itself be broken on it? Like, is it the modem or is it the system?
That's what
like,
I'm saying.
Is it the PlayStation Network?
Because like I said, if it's the system itself, Sony should be able to figure out what's causing it, and if they can't do any troubleshooting over the phone, they will up and replace it if it's under warranty at no cost to you. And they'll send you a prepaid box and label and everything. You just what they'll do is they'll usually send you the label, and sometimes if they can, they'll send the box. But more often than not, they send you the label. You put the item in the box, put the label over, and then send it out to them, and they will replace it, no charge and everything. You just got to fill out whatever paperwork they need to confirm that it's under warranty and everything. Sony's usually pretty good about that stuff, so. Connect to it.
Really? Because I actually hardwire my PlayStation 4 directly into my modem because it's a lot faster than.
Yeah. Oh,
Solid
hey, Nate!
What's up, buddy?
I always forget that Nate. I don't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say I always forget that Nate is like one of the only 3 people that always pop in right from the start of the stream. Even if it's like a 6 a.m. stream, he finds time to pop in. So I gotta give him credit for that. Thank you, Nate. That shows dedication to my channel. And that's why I respect you.
Nate's awesome.
Yes, he is.
But yeah, try that. Can you hardwire? You have Wi-Fi? Is that what it is, Henry? Because I'm trying to figure out why the internet would not be able to connect to your.
Yeah, to the PS4. Yeah.
I mean, do you check your settings? Maybe you do have to hardwire it, and you can always get an Ethernet cord for cheap.
Not only that, but a lot of the ones that you can use with your phones, the old home phone type ones, like landlines, can be compatible with it, from my understanding. So I think that's pretty lit too. But you know what I've noticed, J11? I don't know if you're seeing the stream and noticing it too. But I think this is one of the first times where I've actually started a stream and haven't gotten that random thing about, oh, that your internet, your internet is not sufficient type thing yet. And I'm already at the 40-minute mark. Usually I get it by this point. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
I think this is going to be my lucky day then. Like she was saying though, Henry, if you can plug it in, just like I said, I think pretty much just about any old like landline phone Ethernet cable will fit into the PS4, and then you can plug it in into the router and wirelessly connect it, assuming you're in range of like a TV from the router. You know, me, I'm getting a lucky break because my internet is right below me, and somehow it's not even lagging today, which is shocking. I usually get a lag issue like hell during this game. Alright, you guys might get a blue screen, I don't know, because I don't know how it affects holding it down, so let me see something real quick. Okay, I just wanted to see...
That's true, Henry, I agree with you, buddy. Try that. Try the Ethernet cord. You never know. I would hardwire it.
Yeah, and not to mention a lot of games, especially if you're going to play games like Call of Duty and stuff like that, they even tell you right in the game, they recommend you do a hardwire because you can't guarantee the Wi-Fi is going to be sufficient enough to properly run it. They'll tell you right in the game. So, you know... But like I said, that laptop will be really useful to Henry in more ways than you can imagine, J-Love, if I ever get it out to him. Like I said, it's worth like $500, but I'm not going to ask him to pay any money for it, you know? The fact that he even supports my streams is why he earns it, you know? So, also, oh yeah, that's right, L1's to check your skills. Wait, hold on, let me pause the game. Let me see. How do I check my, let's see. I need to figure out how to see my, like... you know, my speed, or not that, my driving skill, where that's at. Oh, wow. I have to actually, if I recall, J-Love, isn't it, with this game, you can't even do this race until you unlock, like, the next area in the game? If I'm not mistaken.
God, I'm not going to remember that, man. It's been forever since I played this.
Like, I think you have to get past the point, you remember that mission that comes up a little bit later, where you do the, low-ride car, and you have to do, like, the challenge thing and stuff? It's, like, post... It's after the mission you do for OG Loke, aka Jeffrey, where you get him that car and stuff. Like, if you remember that mission, like when you get the van for the music. Like, it's after all those are done, I think. Like, right before you get to, like, his biggest one of stealing the thing out of the mansion there that's up the road from it. Like, after that, I think, is when you do the other one. And then after that, is when you can get access to the next area and stuff, when you do that one I told you about with the little, like, lowrider thing, and then after that you basically get access to the entire, like, driving school and everything else. Alright, let me ask this. I'm sure you're going to be able to see it, so you'll be able to have a say, but let me ask everybody in the chat. And I find it funny because it's literally the name of what's listed on the map, but put BS if you want Big Smokes mission, and put the word sweet, or put an emoji that's got like a you know that drooling emoji, the one where it's like all Google eyes and it's drooling, right? You know what I'm talking about, J-Love, right? Like, put that kind of emoji in if you want sweet. That'll represent the sweet too. So if you want sweet's mission, put that. If you want Big Smoke, put BS. And what do you want, J-Love? Because you can say it directly while I wait. What would you want me to do, J-Love? It's your call too. I want people's opinion, you know. I don't just do the missions for doing them. You want sweet? Who else is with J-Love? If you're with J-Love, put a a hug emoji in the chat right now. If you can. Assuming you're on a device that can let you put them in. Okay, so Henry wants Big Smoke. Who else wants Big Smoke? So we got 1 and 1. Who else does everybody else want? I'm literally just going to stand there. I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to play the basketball mini thing while I wait. See, this is the best part about having you in. Oh, he meant sweet. Okay. Alright, so we got 2 for sweet. Alright, real quick, I just want to try and see if I could do... I want to do 2 different things. I want to see if I can... Okay, everybody wants sweet, but let me see if I could do, first off, get a 2-point... Look, that's the first time I've ever actually done that, whether it was on my downtime or on a stream. Now I'm gonna do something really quick before we finish this. If I could get frickin' CJ to cooperate. Alright, CJ, here we go. Run it up and slam dunk. Woohoo! Alright, nope. CJ, drop the frickin' ball, jabroni. Alright, so everybody wants sweet. Let's do this. Boom, boom. Oh, it's the mission we literally just did. Don't worry about it. Nee, at least you said, like I said, you could either write an emoji if you knew how, or just put that. As long as you put the name or did that, we're good. The only thing is, wait, which one is that? Is that Ryder that's sticking out on my face? The one right there? See him? Because I remember the phrase that's given to him in the late game. I won't spoil it for anybody that hasn't played it. But, you know, it's pretty funny. But J-Love, you remember Full House, right?
Yeah.
Remember the episode when they find out about Jesse's, actual name? And so Michelle goes over to him and she's like, "Hello, Uncle Hermie." And he's like, "Hello, Munchkin." And he's like, "Wait, where'd you learn that from?" You know, and then DJ and Rebecca, or Becky, or whatever her name was, you know, her nickname was, go and tell him it was, they learned it from his, like, grandfather or something like that. Remember that? Right? You remember that, don't you?
I love Full House. I do remember that.
That was my favorite.
I love Uncle Jesse.
You know what my favorite episode of all time is that I actually own on my Google account? That I could watch anytime I wanted?
What?
Especially if I wanted to watch it through YouTube, I could. Is, what was it called? It was from season 7. It's the one when they get the Greek grandfather in, and all you hear is, "Whoopah!" And then you find out he dies and stuff, and everybody's just crying, and then Michelle doesn't believe it, and she slams the thing. Oh, yeah, did you see that Jodie Sweetin's in, she's in, what is it called there? She's in that show that came out called
Fuller
Hollywood.
House?
No, she's also in Hollywood Darlings. That's on Pop Network for a lot of people that have DirecTV. She's on there, and she's on Fuller House. I know, what's even stranger,
Look at.
here's what's even funnier.
Oh, Jay, you're funny.
You know what's even funnier? She's still hot to this day, even though she was the only one out of the entire series that was ever on drugs. It's insane.
She is very good looking now, but DJ was better looking back in the day.
Actually,
in the day.
what's funny is how DJ is like the only one that still looks like themselves to this day. Aside from her. Like, the Olsen twins
She
look
does.
nothing like they did back then. DJ, if you took her picture of her back then, right, and then, like, aged her to where her age is now, she literally matches what her age would look like now back, you know,
No,
if
you know
upgraded.
who looks the same, identical? Kimmy. Kimmy.
Oh, yeah, Kimmy Gibbler. Oh, my God, I love her. She was funny. Remember the episode where Danny hugged her, and it was super awkward for her and Danny because she never had Danny actually like hugging her or anything like that? I thought
They
that was
always wanted her
hilarious.
to get out of their house.
Yeah.
That's
And I remember
hilarious.
she was-
And
I
no,
always-
I did not watch Seinfeld, Henry. I should, right?
And I remember
I never watched it.
I remember the episode of Full House where, or actually it's in pretty much every episode that Kimmy was in. Remember how she's always like, "Later, Tanneritos," and that's when she wasn't fighting with DJ in one of the episodes. It was like always when they were always friends. She's like, "Later, Tanneritos," or she'd be like, "Hola,
Yes.
Tanneritos." And I always remember she called what would she call Michelle? She would call her Squirt, and she's like, "Don't call me Squirt." What was really hilarious?
See, that's the thing. Like what you bringing that up brings me to a point where the newer Fuller House, which I feel the original is better.
Yeah.
But it's so weird not having Michelle on the episode. Even if they would have gotten a replacement because the Olsen twins didn't want to do that, they
Yeah.
really should bring her back because it's like they never had a sister. Think about it.
Exactly.
They had like 3 seasons of Fuller House and not one appearance of their little sister that was a major part of Full House. It makes
Yeah.
no sense.
Yeah, you know what?
And
too?
Jay, yes, I agree. She has not aged, but they
Yeah.
really got to bring a girl to play the role of Michelle because it's ridiculous. Everybody made an appearance from the show except her.
You know what's even funnier? Is how, like, only one of the characters in there has drastically changed since the original airing. The original series, can you guess who it is? It's a guy, by the way. It's one of the guy actors. Can you guess who he is?
That drastically changed, you said.
Yes. Like, if you looked at them in
okay.
Full House and then looked at them in Fuller House, they've had a huge freaking change. A huge change.
Okay.
Can
I
you
want to
guess-
say you're talking about Steve.
Ness got it. Danny, as in Bob Saget. He literally went from being super skinny to, like, putting on weight. Like, he literally fit the midlife crisis character in that episode. It was hilarious.
Oh, yes! He
I
did.
loved that episode. That episode was fucking hilarious. Like, because Danny was basically doing everything that he was against back in the old one, and that showed he was going through the midlife crisis. It was fucking phenomenal. My favorite, honestly though, my favorite, what's funny is the only one that really looks like themselves to this day, aside from maybe Jodie Sweetin's character of Stephanie and Kimmy and DJ, is John Stamos, like the only one that actually doesn't look like he's ever changed. I mean, aside from like, who was it that played Joey? I forget who played Joey in the series.
Oh, you're talking
Steve
about
Coulier. That's
Dave
who it was.
Coulier.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
You
yeah.
know what though? Do you remember? And NES, I want to ask you too, since you and I are the same age. Do you remember when he played on a TV show, and it was like after America's Funniest Home Videos? It was like, I think, America's Funniest People. Do you remember that show?
When did that start? Because I might have actually recognized that name. Like, that name sounds familiar.
I want to say it was like the late 80s and early 90s. It was
because
it was called America's Funniest People, and he would do like that voice. So you know the voice that he would do that sounded like
Bullwinkle?
the chipmunk voice that he would do.
Oh, you're talking about with the woodchuck, Mr. Woodchuck, and he's like, "That's somebody."
He would say like, "Fast as fast can be, you never catch me." Yes, he did actually. He did date Alanis Morissette back in the day. She did a song about him.
Yeah, I thought it was funny how I can actually imitate Mr. Woodchuck. But my favorite, I think my favorite like argument in the entire series, like when they had like the characters arguing with each other, my favorite segment was with DJ and Stephanie when they were getting upset. What was it, over cereal commercial or something like that? And she's like, I remember DJ says to. Or Stephanie says to DJ, she's like, Donna, Jill, Margaret, and then you hear, first you hear DJ say, Stephanie, Judith, and then you hear Stephanie go, Donna, Jill, Margaret. It's like, oh my fucking god, I don't know what's worse, that argument or the argument they had, like, in the modern series, you know, I don't know what was funnier. I still miss the fact that actually, believe it or not, there's only one character, aside from, like, you know, the obvious Olsen twins, that hasn't made any appearances since the original Full House. Can you guess who it is? And it's not a human. It's a dog. That's the hint. It's an animal, as in a dog. Can you guess what their name was?
Are you talking about Comet?
Yeah, he's the only character in the original series that's not going to be able to make any appearances, even if they wanted him to. Because he died. Yeah, he died, what was it, from, like, heartworms or something shortly after the series ended, which is unfortunate.
Well, yeah, regardless, because of how many years went by, he would have died anyway from old age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. To be honest, to answer that question, Henry, I have nothing against them, but I'm more of the Evil Within series lately. I don't know why. Like when the original one came out after Outlast 2 had finished being made, and Resident Evil, I think Resident Evil 6 was the newest one at the time, and they had Outlast 1 and 2 came out, which is that psychiatric hospital type one, and then you had the Evil Within 1, which took place in like a horror house type thing, you know, like a haunted house type thing with like, you know, stuff like you'd see in Resident Evil. I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to play this. And then I played Last of Us, and I was like, okay, that's different.
Henry,
Alright, see you later, Ness.
Evil series.
Like, I'm not against it, but I haven't played it since, like, Resident Evil 6, so I can't really say if I hate it or not, or have a dislike. Alright, let me ask this. Ryder the Shermhead, Sweet, the brother as always, or Big Smoke, the big betrayer at the end game. Hashtag spoiler warning on that, by the way. But who should I pick? So put it this way. Sweet Ryder or Bullshit Face, as I'm going to call him.
Let's go with BS now.
You want some bullshit?
Henry, I love Resident Evil games. Resident Evil 2 is my favorite. Resident Evil 4, I like
that's
a lot.
The best. Wasn't that the one?
Honestly, yes, Henry, and I 100% agree with you. I'm not big on horror. I mean, The Last of Us was awesome, I have to admit that, but I'm really not too big on horror, but Resident Evil games are my favorite series. As far as horror goes. So you got good taste.
Hey, J-Love, remember the episode from Cinema Massacre when they used to do the, what was it called, the bullshit thing? And he's like, you know what's bullshit?
Yeah,
Big packaging. And he's talking about how you have to, like, you get this I love that though, but I just love it because it's hilarious. Because like there was one episode where he's talking about that, and it's like his AVGN character plus the bullshit character in the same episode, and then you get like an actual like cutscene episode. In one of the videos he did, he had an actual episode where he took like this editing of like the glass breaking, and then you have an actual like moose or bull shitting in the property, like inside the room. I was like, oh my god, that was fucking hilarious.
And the sound effects that they would make, it is hilarious.
That's why I love AVGN. That's why I've been subbed to them for so long. Yep. Yeah, he made basically James. What is it? James Rolfe made AVGN a thing. He made himself a thing, and then he also made the Bullshit Man a thing. So.
I will be right back. I'm still gonna see the chat, but I gotta take a phone call. So
oh, that's
I will
okay.
be right back.
Yeah,
Hold
and
on.
I'm dealing with the most bullshit mission of all bullshit, so I'm glad you picked this so I can get it out of the way fast. Hey Henry, if you ever add me on PSN, I'll send you, like, if you have a Twitter, send me a DM and I'll send you my name, because I don't like saying it out loud, because I don't, trust certain people sometimes. Because I don't know who's going to watch this and who's not. But I will literally allow you to add me, and if you ever want to do, like, a collab of a game that we both have, and you want to make a stream or something, like I said, I told you this in your stream, if I ever make a video, you can use my footage if you want to post on your channel. You have my permission if you let me know ahead of time. Did you know that, J-Love? I don't know if she's still there. She might have just been getting back on the mic. Either that or taking it off. But trust me, Henry, like I said, if you and I ever do a collab at some point, and you ever decide, you need certain footage because you don't want to rely on your phone, you can literally take my footage from my channel with my permission and just go and post it. You have my consent. You don't even have to ask me. Just to let me know that that was you, because if I get like a notification from like YouTube about it, then I don't want to go and say, I don't know who took it, But like I said, if you ever want to use it and you just want to put it as you having my permission to use your, the footage on your channel, that's all you'd have to do is just say in the video when you post it that I gave you permission, and go from there. If you ever decide you want to do that, that's fine by me. I would never tell you you couldn't if you let me know, Bad luck boots. What the fuck? Not to mention, I think it's funny how, like, James Rolfe had so many alter ego characters represented by him. Okay. Well, if you do, you do. If you forget, don't worry about it, Henry. I know I can trust you, and if you can trust me as a mod, I could trust you, to put it if you get the chance. So don't try and hurry into it. If you get the chance, great. If you forget by accident or something, don't beat yourself up about it, Hello, I just freaking wall up somebody. Alright, if I recall, this is a trick to do this. There's a trick. I know. He does what he does for a reason. Why won't my character go up and hit the thing? There. Gosh. Damn, Gabe. Oh, you get forced on the bike anyhow. Huh. Let me see something. Stay. Which end is he at? I forget where he's at. Damn it. Alright, get on the bike. Get on the fucking bike. Where did the bike go? Damn it. Get on. Get on, Jeffrey. Let's go. Move. Alright, I'm gonna try something. Can you even kill him without having to chase him? I take it he's immune to damage until you actually catch him. Huh, that's stupid, but okay. Whoop, whoop. I know, I remember that. Like, he saw himself as an old man playing the Wii, I think it was, which was hilarious, and he forgot how there was, like, new systems coming and stuff. I remember that was fucking hilarious. Dude, just go f yourselves, man. Wonder if I... Oh, that's right. I forgot I could shoot. Oh, but I'm out of ammo. And... Oh! Get on the fucking bike. Go, 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 go. Move, 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 move. Let's go. Move, move, move. Rapidamente, rapidamente. Scoot, scoot. Skeet, skeet, butthole. Damn it. Ah, gosh damn it. I gotta restart this freaking mission. Ugh. Hashtag bullshit. Also, blue screen will probably be imminent in 1 second. Let me see something. Okay, I gotta... I know, that's just the thing, because it's all gang warfare, Henry, which is hilarious. It's fucking gang warfare city up in this bitch. Too bad I don't know a place I can get more ammo really quick, but... I want to be able to get armor, but the problem is I don't remember half of the locations you can get to where you can get armor without having to do anything in this one anymore. Alright, you know what? Where's the thing I need here? Oh, I hate how the game gets dark like this and then you can't see much of it. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I don't think I want to do those right now. I mean, I could. You know what? Why not? Let's do it and see how much money I can make off this shit. I want to get as much money as I can in one go. And I got up to 4-hour in-game time to do so, I guess. Damn it, can't break in there. Shit, there's nothing to break into here. Shiza. Fuck. I actually own, on digital on PS3, I have Batman Arkham City with the Catwoman DLC included. So I can do like all her, you know, like if I want to go around fighting crime as her, I could do that. And then I also have Arkham Knight, but I don't really play it much. It's not that I don't like it. I just don't have the time to put on a bunch of space to fit that game and a bunch of other big games and play it, you know. But I like it. It's a fun game. I especially love that the whole thing that everybody talked about how the whatchamacallit was like the big cause of everything, like the whole fact that you know, the whole whatchamacallit there was like the everybody said that the Batmobile was used a little too heavily. I disagree 110%. Like, the Batmobile has a perfect balance in it, because you don't have to rely on it. It's just like towards the end game you have to, whether you want to or not. So, but otherwise the game is fucking awesome, you know. Yeah, I have Arkham Knight and I have Arkham City on last gen that I could play if I wanted, so. I mean, I'd have to get a PS3 that runs and stuff to play it, but I could if I ever chose to. Alright, there's gotta be another place I can break into before the time runs out. But the problem is where? Where, motherfucker, where? Because I gotta be able to rob it. Damn it, move. Oh, of course, I got heat on me now, so I can't even offload the goods. Oh, well, that was quick. Heat on me, heat off me, but... Whoops. Yeah, I know, they do need to make a new Batman game, because Batman is the most infamous superhero of all time. He's the only one that has an actually really cool backstory to him. If I recall, isn't his backstory basically, as a kid, his parents get robbed and killed, And so what he tries to do to get revenge is try and find the person as a vigilante and make them go to prison for what they did. But he will never do like other characters would, where he'd be okay with killing, like Deadpool, for instance. Deadpool doesn't give a damn if he kills. Batman is one of those people that's anti-kill, but is all out worth taking people down. Now let me ask you this, Henry. If you had to pick a favorite... Oh! Well, Jayla's back in the chat, but she's not back in my party chat yet, if you know what I mean. But, what's that about? Oh, just a Gmail thing. Not important. Let me ask everybody this, okay? Riddle me this. If you had to pick a favorite, like, maybe late 80s, early 90s Batman, like the old school ones, anything probably no further than the end of the Dark Knight trilogy, what Batman movie would be your favorite and why? Exactly, and not to mention he's pure stealth. He just goes stealth city up in that bitch, you know? It's like, you can't argue his strategy. He has to use stealth if he wants to have a chance of survival. Somebody. Alright, I made 20 bucks. Meh. Could have made more, could have made less, but yeah. Yeah, exactly. He improvises. Exactly. He uses stealth, which gives him the upper hand, because all he has to do is drop a smoke pellet and he can jump up into a high spot where nobody knows where he is and then catch him off guard and take him out without killing him. Like, he might threaten as if he's going to kill you, but that's only just to get information, and then and then he'll pull you back into a hang point where you're not going to die, but your blood will flow to your head, you know. Also, I'm going to spray tag this spot real quick. Because I got these spray tags I gotta hit eventually in this game. Jeez. I especially hate the ones that are up high, you know. So it says J-Lo is still in the party chat, just she's on mute. But I know I got that one. Why am I in here? Alright, let me ask you this, Henry. If you could have, out of 3 different superheroes, I'm going to provide them. If you could have, out of the 3 I list, be an ally, who would you pick? Spider-Man, Hulk, or Batman? But note that they have to at least make 1 kill in order for your chance to survive. That's the thing. They have to be willing to kill 1 person. Who would you pick and why? It's probably going to be difficult, especially if Batman's your favorite and he says he doesn't kill people. Or he at least tries not to, unless it's like a last resort. Alright, let's see. Don't hit me, thank goodness. Oh, that Jeep got lucky. So like I said, out of those 3, Batman, Spider-Man, and Hulk, knowing they have to kill at least one of the enemies in order for you to be able to survive, who would you pick? Oh, Spider-Man's a good choice. Which Spider-Man, though, J-Love? Because remember, you have the... Like, if you had to base it off of the comic versus the movie, like, which era of Spider-Man? Would you go Spider-Man that everybody knows, that's commonly seen in, like, Homecoming in the originals? Or would you go more like the Iron Spider era of him when he was teaming with Iron Man before Homecoming was made? Like, what one would you pick and why? Because me, personally, I don't have a favorite superhero because I have a lot that I like across each variation of the universes. Because you got DC and you got Marvel. And I believe Spider-Man, and I want to say Hulk or Marvel, and then Batman and Superman are DC, if I recall. Which is why I list different heroes for different reasons. Because like I said, there's heroes across many of the different versions of the universes that I like. Like, for example, on the Marvel universe, I love Spider-Man, I love, you know, a lot of those guys. So you would go the Spider-Man from, like, the old Tobey Maguire type films. You know which ones I'm talking about, right? Henry, I'm talking about, like, the old school vintage, like, 2000s Spider-Man that fought, like, Doc Ock and Green Goblin type Spider-Man? Or are you talking along the lines of like the old 80s like comic Spider-Man, the one that was like super straightforward on things, you know, and was focused on everything. But it was still like similar to what that character's aesthetic was. And I just found fucking grenades, 20 fucking grenades. Sweet. Oh hell yeah. Good choice of Spider-Man, because that's like my favorite iteration. Now let me ask this. Which variation of that Spider-Man would you pick, Henry? Would you pick the red and blue suit Spidey, or the one that's featured in like the later Spider-Man 2 and 3 films, which was the black suit that's based on Venom version of Spider-Man, where he's black and white? Which would you pick and why? Oh, good answer on that. That is the best iteration of that Spider-Man that I especially like. Oh my god, was he boss. I just remember, because remember, he was, not only was he like cocky and swagger based, but like he just didn't give two fucks. If you did anything, he wouldn't hesitate to try and put you in your place. So. Also, I love how I found an NRG 500 and a freaking random machine gun. Now down we go. Yahoo! Exactly, like if he went full on egomaniac like he was in the film, he'd be a total dick and he'd kill people, risk letting people get killed. But if he's, you know, good and does like the realistic moral based answer choices he always made, then he'd be similar to himself. The only downside to it, remember, Henry, if I recall, wasn't it that the suit was like if it heard like sound waves, it would get annoyed by it and it would scream in pain and it would try and detach itself from whatever thing it's attached to prevent it, if I recall. But that was like the only downside of that suit, was that it would break off of the suit that it was attached to if that happened. Otherwise, it was always on him. It's like flies on fruit, if they're fruit flies, that is, you know, it's like that. Also, what the fuck am I doing? I'm trying to get out of here and I get shite camera angles that don't help me see where I'm going to get out. Well, he said, Henry, I noticed a lot of the streams you've been doing have been amazing. Keep up that work, dude. You're gonna go somewhere. Trust me. If you've already got over 300 subs, you're obviously doing something right. That's a fact. No arguing on that statement either. If somebody wants to argue it, they can come catch these hands. And feet at that. Because I will take them to Super Kick City. Also, I think I'm heading into an area that's not supposed to be unlocked yet, that you're not supposed to have access to yet, so I get to turn around. Yeah, because as soon as you see those cop cars, you know you're in the wrong area. Ah, jiznits. Stupid frickin' CJ. Get on the fucking bike, CJ, for fuck's sake. Yeah, see, I would play the music on this, Henry, and stuff, because it's like, it's got all my favorites, but the problem is, I'm not risking having to talk over it consistently to prevent copyright, you know? Oh, yeah, exactly. Not to mention, if he really wanted to, all he'd have to do is shoot a web, and he would have basically infinite web, because that thing would allow him to have a black web that doesn't need the shooters to utilize, you know? Which I thought was cool. But I always thought it was funny, because I remember, like, if you put the song, I don't know if you'll know this song, Henry, if you took the song Staying Alive by the Bee Gees, and you put it in that scene where you see Peter in the movie just, like, walking down all egomaniac, you know, new slick back haircut type style that he was, then it would literally fit his characteristic of that in that scene flawlessly, because it would fit with that scene. You can take it by the way I use my life, come on. No time to talk. It's okay. You can feel it. Stay alive, stay alive. Hello.
J Love is back in the house.
What? You know what you should have said? You should have said, J Love is back, bitches. That's what I would have said. If I would have left for like a split second and came back, I would have been like, I'm back, bitches.
That would be funny.
Yeah. Do you remember that scene of Spider-Man, I think it was 3? Like the ones with Tobey Maguire? Remember when he had that little ego walk thing and he had the slick back haircut type thing? Right? You remember that, right, J-Love? It was the one that had,
What?
Remember the Tobey Maguire movies? The ones that also had, you remember Small Soldiers, let's put it that way. Do you remember that movie, Small Soldiers?
Yes.
Alright, you remember the actress that was in that during the Barbie scene? I think it's Kirsten Dunst, and she was in Spider-Man. If you remember that film, there was that series. If you ever watched Spider-Man 3, if you've seen it, you should be able to remember there's a scene when he has access to the black suit, and he's doing that little strut down the sidewalk, and he's got that stupid little slick back, like, gel-based black haircut that's cut at an angle type thing, right? Think of it like this. If you took the song, if you remember the song Staying Alive by the Bee Gees, right? You took that and put it in that segment, that would fit exactly his characteristic at the time, because it's just like he's all swagger and he's like, nothing can hurt me now kind of thing, you know? Wouldn't that make sense?
That is funny.
Like, think of it like that. I mean, I'm sure they probably used it for all I know. If not, they used something that was popular at the time, but it would have been hilarious. But I can't wait till, 2019, because Creed 2 comes out in 2019, baby. Boom, 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 boom. And I don't care. Like I said, I don't care if I have to sell a bunch of games just to have room, to get the money to do so, to pay my parents for gas and to be able to go see it. I will do it, and I will go in by myself unless one of my parents wants to join me and go watch it with them.
Yes.
Because I am hyped for Creed 2, which, like I said, it's been confirmed by Stallone on his Twitter that 2019 is going to be the year of Creed 2. Oh, Murray! Hey, man! I almost forgot that Murray occasionally checks out my streams, too. I always forget he pops in at random if he gets the chance. So every time I see it, I get called. Yeah, I always forget that he actually... What's funny is I think he actually subscribed to me before I subbed to him. I think it was when Smash was the one promoting me before Dan started doing it consistently during his streams, right? I think Smash had shouted me out one time, and Mur, literally 5 seconds later, had been one of my new subscribers. That was when I was just getting at 60 subs. I was 2 subs away from 60, and he was one of those ones that helped me get to 60. I was like, what?
That's awesome.
I think it was funny. I remember that. You remember that, right, Mur? I think it was Smash's stream. He was doing a stream of, Labo or some old game, and he was mentioning me, and then you suddenly subbed to me. Remember that? I want to say it was that. If not, it might have been Megadan's stream. But I know during either a Smash or Megadan stream, he subbed to me out of the blue, and I was just like, what? Alright, I gotta go sub back to him as a thank you. Because that's what I do. When somebody helps me out, I help them out,
Dude, that's why.
And that's why I've been growing so much, because people do it to me, I do it for them, It's insane.
I know, that's what I love about our community. We have a good group. We really do. And supporting one another, and it's awesome. And not to mention, I love watching all of you guys.
Yeah, not to mention,
yes, me too. Me too, Mur. Smash is such a good dude.
I think he's so good that
streaming because I'll slap him.
You know what's even funnier too? J-Love is during one of his streams when he first made me a mod. When I accidentally, you know who CM is, right? CM Retro. I kid you not, by accident, I was because my iPad at the time was acting very stupid, so I couldn't get the thing to respond correctly to the chat where it was supposed to scroll and stuff and let me slide up and down to read the chat. And he had just made me a mod, and I accidentally blocked Retro's comment or something by accident. So Smash took it away, and he says, "Let me take some time, and I'll give it to you down the line." And then he gave it back to me, and I've still been at it, having the mod power since. But it was funny, I kid you not, I kid you not, it was all by accident. I literally went and it was trying to respond, and and he's like, "Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna get mad at you. I'm just gonna take it away temporarily, and I'll give it back." It was funny too, because I think it was somebody else that's in the streams a lot. I forget what their name was. But they were joking about having him give it to him.
Retro's awesome. He's such an awesome dude.
I'm actually friends with him on PSN, which is awesome.
Stream. We all go in each other's streams, so I guarantee you that's probably how you found him.
Yeah, exactly. I've watched Nostalgia, I watched Ness, I watched J-Love stream.
Megadan, absolutely.
I kid you not. You want to know something, though? I kid you not, okay? Let's say I'm streaming at my usual time, and somehow Dan's making a stream shortly as I'm starting, right? I don't care if I'm streaming. I will literally end the stream just to go watch him. Like, I will put my stream on hiatus temporarily just to go see him until it's finished.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's helped me so much. That's why he deserves that. But I think it's even crazier that CM Retro actually added me on PSN. And
CM Retro's such a good dude, and I agree with Mur as far as Smash JT pulling in new talent, getting everybody together. Like, I feel like we all met each other through the community because we're watching each other's streams. It's amazing, and I love the fact that I met so many good people because of it.
And not only that, but
like last night, I actually it took me forever to edit my video because I was working while editing. So I finally put a new video up at like 4 o'clock this morning.
I probably got notified and I didn't see it because I was still asleep at that point, to be honest. It's not that I don't like trying to watch people's videos.
I wanted to put it up earlier. It just didn't work out that way.
No, I know. What's even crazier is, can you do me a favor and go on my channel and see, aside from this stream, see if my video about my collection got posted? Because I have to just change one little thing about that. Because there's one game that was in that collection video for PS4 games that's actually been sold, that I got rid of. It's not because I didn't want to play it or I wasn't going to like it or anything or didn't like it. I just wasn't going to have time. It was going to sit in the backlog thing, just sit in the case for so long that by the time I did play it, I just wouldn't be interested.
When did you post it?
It was posted within the last like week and a half to 2 weeks. It was around the same time that I was doing the GTA 3 stream. It was the one when Dan was actually able to watch one of the GTA 3 streams. And it was like right at the time that my stream had started is when the video was supposed to go up. I can't guarantee it. It should say something along the lines of like game collection. I'll have like a random thumbnail of just like a bunch of games stacked on top of each other, kind of like in a jumbled mess. I think. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I could show you I could send you like a thing through Twitter of what it would look like. But
I don't see it, buddy.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be uploaded, because it was uploading the same day that I was downloading GTA 3 to do that stream, so I guess it didn't upload like it should have. But basically, the games that I had in that collection at the time were all the ones that I've been, telling you I had, like Persona 5 and stuff. The only one that's not in that was in the video that's not in my collection anymore is Horizon Zero Dawn. Like I said, it's not that I didn't like it.
Thank you, Mur. I appreciate it. I really do. I love it too. I have that 80s beat in the background, which is absolutely my favorite.
And not to mention,
I really appreciate you watching. I really do. And the the God of War, I'm still streaming that. I'm only 6 hours into it, so I have a long way to go. So that's what I'm streaming currently. Yeah. So you might want to avoid my my streams because of it. I don't want to give any spoilers, but a lot of people are so much further than me on it. And then I'll start streaming retro games again once I complete it. So I should be back onto it on Wednesday.
Also, somehow during me doing a spray tag, when I was sliding down that thing, I somehow grabbed armor. I don't know if you can see that. Like, somehow I have armor. I don't even know how I got it because I couldn't even see the armor. Okay, random armor for free, why not? But what was I gonna say?
I wish that you could get Saints Row 2 DOA. I really do.
Yeah, the problem is that you'd have to play it on PS3. I really wish that they would have that.
That's the thing, like, the PS4 should have gave you the option to download it. You don't have to, that whole PlayStation Now is stupid.
Yeah.
It should allow you to download the game.
What's even crazier is, in order to have a game that I actually want to get, you can either spend $20 up front and just own its PS4 remastering version, or you can spend $20 a month to have that subscription and then have both access to both versions of it, like the old PS3 and the PS4 remake. Which is like, why would I do that when I want to just spend $20, have that game and be done? You know?
Well, yeah, I feel like I would have bought it for you. If you were able to download it, I would have bought it for you.
Oh, I know.
I don't. And the thing is, the PS3. You said your PS3 doesn't work. Is that right?
Well, it's just that I don't have a controller that can work with it, so I can't get it out of its loop that it's in. So it's stuck in like a safe mode. What I would like to call a soft lock type thing, which is even funnier too because. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Cause I was just gonna say
I would have loved to watch you play it. You would.
Oh, I know for a fact because I've seen videos
like
of that. I've seen videos of that game. That game is fucking awesome.
And Mur, you are right. Saints Row 2 is my favorite. After that, it got stupid. I only have the third one, and I never got the rest of them because they went a little bit off track. It got silly.
Let me ask this real quick.
Like, it was crazy.
Let me ask this. Was it Saints Row 2 or 3 was the one where you played as a president and there was that giant purple dildo sword you could swing around. That people had just sent out in their videos.
I think that was either the third or fourth one, to be honest with you.
Because I want to say it was I want to say it's the third one. Because let's put it this way: which one had it where you could be a president, but it was also able to be co-op? Because I know there's only like one Saints Row game that was like later on, around the time of like 3 or something, that let you not only have like access to like a bunch of goofy wrestling moves through like certain games, certain moves you can unlock and stuff, but you could have access to like a dildo, and you could have access to like a freaking. I think you have like, if you remember Destroy All Humans series. Yeah, because if you remember like the Destroy All Humans series, you could have access to like a laser gun from like that, and you could get. I think you could get a lightsaber too, which was even funnier. Like it was called like a light sword or something.
It's the fourth one that he's president. Actually, I really feel. But see, I didn't play that one because
I only know that because of videos. I've never played it.
It just didn't have the same feel.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the way it went. It was Saints Row 2. I was so hyped for the third one because it was such a good game. It disappointed the crap out of me.
Yeah. You know what's even... Oh, go ahead. I'm going to let you finish, and I was going to say what's even crazier, too.
Oh, no, I'm reading Murr's comment.
Oh, okay. But you know what's...
Okay.
You know what's crazy? You know what's really crazy? Is there's going to be a lot of good stuff happening for next year. You're going to have... Last of Us 2 is expected to come out by that point. Red Dead Redemption 2 will have already been out, and people will be playing that a lot. And then you're also going to have Creed 2 coming out. It's like... all good things seem to be pointing towards the year 2019. It's like, what the frick is up with this world and having good stuff happen within the next, like, 2 years? But nothing good can happen now. The only good stuff to have come out now is in movies, It's like, what the fuck? It's like, why the fuck do we have, what is it? Nothing against the movies. Like, I know we have Avengers Infinity War, which everybody says is fucking awesome, and then there's Deadpool 2 that's coming out that everybody says is going to be awesome. But... where's the good games? Like, the only really decent games to come out are ones that everybody says is only good because of the graphics. Like, that's the only good thing about it. And that's like, and also because of the catchphrase that you hear a lot, which is God of War, But me, I'd rather play, like, God of War 3, because that's the one I played the most that I know the whole story to without even having to fully play it, Like, I know the storyline is that basically one of the people that Kratos is after, aside from God himself, which is Zeus, was... the person that killed off his family by trying to trick Kratos or something. Then the family, his wife and daughter, get killed, and then you go on a vengeance, revenge type, event, and you just start taking out all the different gods, and you even end up killing one of your former allies because, like, even though the ally helps you get up to a certain area to face like Poseidon's like horse or whatever. It's like you get a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, they end up becoming an enemy of you because they're turning on you at some point. You have to put them down, and it's like, like, my only complaint with the game is that when you're hanging upside down, those upside down segments where you're, like, hanging on something and you have to fight upside down against the boss during the beginning. Mm-hmm. Like, I hate that the controls get inverted for that, but aside from that, the game is just awesome because you could do combos easily. You don't even have to really press anything to do a combo. You press, like, 2 buttons and you're hitting a combo. Like, what games have it where you can hit, like, 2 buttons back to back and pull off a combo out of the blue,
That's true. You know what? I really want to get... You ever seen it's Back to the Future 2 for the Super Nintendo?
Oh, I think I have.
Like, we didn't have that release here in the States.
Oh, you're talking about
you're
talking about the one that was exclusive to Japan. It was like the Japan Famicom exclusive variation.
Exactly. I want that because we do have it now in the States, homebrewed.
Yep.
Like the hacked version.
What's even funnier
really
is
want to get that game. I have to look for it in a convention, and I also want Super Double Dragon.
What I think is even
Mario
funnier is
RPG.
I think... I don't mean to cut you off. What I was going to say is, what I think is even funnier, what's even funnier is, if I recall, is I want to say, James Rolfe as AVGN, he did like a whole video about all the Back to the Future games and stuff, and he even mentioned about that, like, at the time, like, it wasn't even available to the US public through Homebrew or anything, and he's like, why do they have such an awesome game? Like, it was even funnier too, like how he rips LJN a new asshole by calling it laughing, joking numbnuts. And then he gets the Spider-Man Maximum Carnage game and he's like, it's a good game. Like, he went insane, because remember that was like during that time when he did that whole Christmas series or whatever. It was like the 12 Days of Shitness or something like that. And he opens up that game and then he looks at the box and he's like, this is LJN. LJN actually made a good game. They made a good game. Like, he lost his mind. It's hilarious because like every single game made by LJN was trash except for that. Like, the only time, what's sad is the only time LJN made decent games is when it was either the wrestling ones, you know, like the old like WWF Royal Rumble and stuff like that for like Super Nintendo and stuff, or with the old, you know, Maximum Carnage and what was the other one that was before that? Because I think Maximum Carnage was the sequel to, it was like Separation Anxiety. I think it went, you know, actually, I've never actually played MLB games by LJN, to be honest. I never played any of those. I more or less play like the ones that were made by Sony later on. What really grinds my gears, you know what really grinds my gears? Is when a company makes a game.
I played that.
What really grinds my gears is when somebody, you know, is when people make like different, you know, games and stuff. You know, like a company will make a game and they'll change the name branding for the game like 13 different times before the game has a final name. Like, for example, like the MLB The Show series. Originally it was like MLB, you know, and then the year, and then it went MLB The Year The Show, and now it's MLB The Show and then the year is how it's read, but it's written different than it's read, and it's like, pick one and stick to it.
Those are good baseball games, though. I love The Show.
I had 17...
That's the good thing about having a PlayStation. You could play that. As far as the MLBs for the NES, I think I have, of course, the original baseball game. I had Bases Loaded 1 and 2. I'm trying to think. I think I do have an MLB League, something like that for NES. I'm not 100% sure with the name of it. I have to look at it.
Yeah, the ones
Let me see. I'm going to look now. It bothers me.
That's alright. The ones I own are MLB The Show 16 and 17, respectively, for the PS4. And I also own 16 The Show, I think it is, on PS3, so...
Nice.
But I also own pretty much just about every childhood WWE game I could ever want right now. Like, I have pretty much every single one. I have SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, I have, you know... I think the only one I have to get back again is SmackDown vs. Raw 07, and then I'm done. I'll have to check him out. Thanks for letting me know about that. I'll have to check him out and give him some time to view. Thanks for letting me know about that, Henry. I'll have to check him out. Speaking of which, Henry, give me 1 second. I'm going to pause the video. I'm not ending the stream. Also, of course, Uncle Strange leaves my stream and then starts his next God of War stream. Oh, the irony.
I gotta get Kid Icarus. I can't believe I don't own that for the NES.
Oh yeah, I forgot Kid Icarus.
I know.
I forgot about Kid Icarus. Alright, give me 1 second here. I'm gonna go in and make Henry a mod. He deserves it. Because he's been viewing my stream since he said he would check me out. He's been in this since the start, so I'm gonna give him mod powers. He deserves it.
Mod powers.
He deserves to be a mod. He has earned it. Especially when he actually literally was like still put in the effort to keep streaming, even though I was the only one that was like basically just, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not when you're, you know, like when you're not chatting but you're watching the stream. What is it called there? It's called, I forget the term. Damn it, I can't think of the term. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, not really ghosting, but something close to ghosting where like you're watching the stream but you don't, you know, don't write anything during it, you know what I'm talking about? Like, I was doing that during his stream last night, but what was cool is that he still stuck through it, even though I was the only one that was watching at the time. Like, he stuck through it and just, like, was super chill and stuff, so that's why he's earned mod on my channel. Especially since he's already considering giving me mod powers, even though I told him he don't have to, you know? I'm actually a mod on, like, 4 channels now. 3 or 4. I'm a mod on my nephew's channel, which everybody's got to check out. I'm a mod on Smash's channel, and I'm a mod on your channel, J-Love. I don't know who else I'm a mod on for their channels, you know.
Uncle Strange is a cool person, Henry.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. And Mur, you're gonna be so proud of me. I have it in my collection. MLB, Major League Baseball by LGN. So I do have that game, and now that I know which one it is, I agree with you. It looks like it kind of reminds me of the baseball game that was released for Game Gear, the Sega Game Gear. Do you remember that? If you ever played it, it was freaking awesome.
I'll tell you what,
Henry,
compared to
the original baseball, I agree with you. That's a lot of fun.
I'll tell you what, Henry, if you end up streaming and I'm still streaming at that point, I will literally be polite enough to end my stream and check yours out. And if you're okay with it, Henry, if I can figure out how to do it, I will literally kind of like a, what is it called there? You know, when you watch somebody else's stream while watching yours, it's like a streamception type thing. I will personally do that to help him out. Like, I will even link in the
Oh,
description when
that's
I'm watching it,
awesome.
his channel, to tell people to check it out. If you're willing to do that, Henry, that's up to you. I don't want to give you a streamception thing if you don't want that. If you're okay with it, like, I will literally try and find a way to watch it using my PS4. I will literally get the YouTube app on my PS4 if I have to. I don't even care if I have to delete some games to get room for it. I will do it, and I will download it, and then I will find your video, and I will live stream mine at the same time if I figure out how to do it. If you're okay
4
with
Game
that.
Gears. Oh, that sucks.
You know what system
I'm
I
sorry.
want? You know what system I want that I don't have, but just about everybody else I know has? J-Love, can you guess what it is? I'll give you a hint.
Yes, let me think. Wait.
Alright, take it.
Okay.
Well, and if you need a hint, let me know. But it's a pretty easy guess. It's probably the most obvious one too, especially if you think of the company that made it.
Nintendo.
Yep, it's a Nintendo branded console. Yep.
And you want this console and you don't have it.
Yes, I actually used to have it, and then I ended up getting rid of it for whatever reason. I don't remember the reason behind it. I ended up selling it. I think I needed money for something, and I sold it for $60, and I regret it because it had all the best games on it at the time. I had like some of the popular ones that everybody remembers. Like there was remakes of the games though for GameCube.
NES.
No. Remember, one of the games that was made on it was made for GameCube, and it had a bundled version of the GameCube one that had the old sequel to it with it in the bundle. And now there's a 3DS version of that game, and then you had another one that was based around James Bond, and then you also have the more common characters with it, as well as like the most popular Pokemon themed games for it. Can you guess what it is?
Game Boy.
No, because I have a Game Boy Color. Here's a hint. It is a system that had the wonkiest controller in the history of the world, aside from like the old original Xbox original controller.
Nintendo 64.
Yes, that was my childhood system, because the games I want, I can't even get if I don't have the system to play it. The games I want to get are WWF No Mercy, WCW NWO Revenge, WCW NWO versus the World, and then I want to go and get like GoldenEye, Ocarina of Time,
when
all
Nintendo
those.
64 came out, I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I of course got one because I'm a big Nintendo fan.
Yeah.
I never was a fan of the style of the controller. I mean, of course, back in the day we had to get used to it, and they had the best games. They had, you know, Diddy Kong Racing. I loved GoldenEye. Mario Kart
007
64.
on that was
They were all
nostalgic.
amazing games. Oh, absolutely. But the controller sucks. So that new controller that Retrobit came out with, I mean, Retro Fighters,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen people
Oh, I saw. I
talk
think I
about
want
it.
to say Smash or John Blu-ray had talked about it at one point. I saw both of
Yes,
them.
I think they both did. I think Rax the Great, a whole bunch of people talked about this controller. I actually ordered one, so I'm getting that because it seems like an improvement from the original. I hated that controller. It's probably my least favorite controller. Yes, Ocarina of Time, Henry. Yes, I agree. It's probably my least favorite controller, but the second least favorite controller, believe it or not, is the Wii. I hate the Wii controller. I can't stand that. Some of the games were good for it, but I honestly, it's probably the system I dislike the most by Nintendo. The Wii, not the Wii U. Everybody seems to have an issue with the Wii U.
I actually like the
my
Wii U because it's a lot smoother
Me too.
Because you can see what you're doing.
Absolutely.
So, like, let's say somebody wants to watch TV, you can play off the gamepad and not have it interrupt it. You know?
I agree with you.
Like for
agree.
example, like if you're like me, because my family, we would hook it up where we have a smart TV. So like, let's say I wanted to, my parents were done watching my mom's like shows that she puts on that's on during this time anyways, during the day, which are like, you know, Young and the Restless, Bold and Beautiful, and she wants to watch it at night. And then they're over, and for example, let's say a WWE event was going to be on, you know, that night or something, you know, like they're having one of those like, you know, mini shows they do like Tribute to the Troops or something, and I want to watch it through like the network, like they have like a network exclusive event or something. I could do that as long as my dad's not going to watch it literally while I play on the Wii U. It was so perfect. Like I think you could even get the network app on the Wii U to be compatible. So, but you're probably going to despise me for saying this, dear love, but I actually prefer, out of all the controllers I've touched as a kid, I fell in love with the N64's original controller. I don't know why, I just love it. You may hate me for it, but it's my childhood. It was actually the first controller-based, like, you know, like, for a system where it was an actual controller that I used. Because the first, like, system, aside from that I ever touched was an NES. And that thing the shape just never felt right, you know, with the jagged edges and stuff.
That I understand with, because you grew up with that, so that's something that you
But that's the thing, I also grew up on the NES.
Super
that's one
Nintendo
thing.
and Nintendo controllers, and then you go to that, it kind of like throws you off really bad. That middle area is just unnecessary, but
Yeah.
awesome that you're used to it.
Yeah, but you want to know something?
Hold on 1 second.
Alright.
Hold on 1 second, buddy.
No, you're good. Take your time.
I have a knock on the door. Hold on one second.
Go do what you gotta do. No problem. But what I was gonna say to everybody in the chat is one thing I know is if I were to play an N64, I would need to have an Android like device because I could get like an emulator known as what is it? I think it's like EMU Plus or something like that for Android, and it's like a 64 emulator, and I could grab an Android Mocha controller and play it through it. It's so lit. So. Let me see if Henry's actually streaming, because I'm following him, and if he is, I gotta figure out how to stream that. Like, do the streamception. Alright, at least I think I have armor. No, wait, I don't have... I'm so confused. This game is so confusing. I apparently don't have armor, even though it looks like I do. What the freak? Okay, I'm gonna figure out how to do a streamception. I'm gonna see what I can do to do a streamception for you, Henry. So, let me see. I'll figure something out. You do what you gotta do. But like I said, if I can figure out how to do the streamception, I will definitely do it. I mean, I won't have my face, but... Alright, speaking of which, I'm gonna go to a blue screen real quick here. Hopefully you guys can still hear the audio. And I'm gonna see if I actually have the YouTube app installed. If not, I gotta install it, so bear with me. Of course, I gotta re-download it. That's fine by me. So I'm gonna see if I can pull off this random streamception. I can do it. Yeah, whatever. 3, 2, 1, downloading. Okay. Should be downloading. Let me double check. Yeah, okay. Alright, so I'm going to try and download it. Hopefully I can pull off some glitch to do so. Because if I can somehow get my PS4 to let me watch your stream, Henry, while streaming, I will do it. You know, where I'm using my PS4 to stream your stream. Alright. Give me time to download that, and then I'll watch the stream. If I can get it. But I'm going to at least play it in the background so I show that I'm actually going to be there. What? No, hold on. Alright. Dun, dun, dun. He's probably reading the comment. Alright. Waiting on my YouTube to download. So let me put this in the blue screen real quick. See how that's coming along. How much further? Okay. Also, I gotta get the mail eventually. That can wait. Whoop! Almost lost my controller. How much ammo do I have on there? No, only 50. I gotta get more for that, man. Oh, excuse me. Let me see one thing here, one moment. That's not what I was trying to do. Oh, excuse me. Not exactly sure who would still be watching because they're probably all jumping over to Henry's stream. But yeah, I might actually end this shortly and then download YouTube, but I want to wait so I don't leave somebody in the dark. Rider, Sweet, or Big Smoke? I think I'll do Sweet, because this gets Sweet's girl mission out of the way. See for the phone call. Alright, let's do this before it's too late. Oh, let's find a vehicle somewhere, please. No? Of course not. Of course there's no vehicle there. And yeah, nobody's gonna watch it now because they're jumping in these things. That's okay. I'm not gonna get mad about that. Come on, CJ. Take it to the house. If I can do this. Yes. Okay. Great. That's saving me time. Not bars now. No. Ah, jizz. Alright, that's gonna end this then, I guess. I'm gonna try and do that streamception. I will see everybody later.